Okay, here we are. Today is day 18 for the advent of Cyber Challenge. And today's challenge is Obfuscation, the eggshell file. And of course, we have our two videos associated here, video 1 and 2. And the challenge has two tasks. Task 1, introduction. Task 2, obfuscation and deobfuscation. And before we begin, my disclaimer as always, I'm not a cybersecurity professional. I have no experience in or with cybersecurity, so you'll see me, a beginner, taking on these challenges just like other beginners. And here we go. Today is day 18. Let's open up to the day 18 notes. Just get that set up and ready if we need it. And task 1 is going to be introduction. I see we already need a machine, so I'm just going to scroll down, kick that off while we're waiting. We'll start reading through task 1. And I'm also going to place this in full screen. Exit split view there. Okay. Scroll back up. So Wareville has not felt right since the wormhole appeared. Everyone in TBFC is on high alert. Systems are going haywire, dashboards are spiking, and SOC alerts or SOC alerts have been firing non-stop. Amid the chaos, McSkitty keeps her focus on a particular alert that caught her interest. An email posing as North Pole-HR is littered with carrot emojis, but the weird thing is there is no North Pole Human Resources Department. TBFC's HR is at the South Pole. Digging further, she found a tiny PowerShell file from that email that was downloaded, and among the code are random strings of characters, all gibberish, nothing readable at a glance. McSkitty knows a malicious actor or malicious actors often hide code and data using a technique called obfuscation. But what is that really, and how can we decipher it? So the learning objectives, we're going to learn about obfuscation, why and where it is used. We're going to learn the difference between encoding, encryption, and obfuscation. We're going to learn about obfuscation and the common techniques. And then we're going to use CyberChef to recover plain text safely. So we can review the connection card. We do not need the attack box. We will need a VM. We do get split screen, and everything else is a no-go. So we did already start our machine. We're going to hit check. And everything seems to be loaded here. We have our target machine IP. And task 2, obfuscation and deobfuscation. So understanding the gibberish. Obfuscation is the practice of making data hard to read and analyze. Attackers use it to evade detection and delay investigations. Let us say a security tool will automatically block any file that contains the word the bandit yeti. To evade this, attackers can use simple cipher techniques called ROT1 to hide the string. ROT1 is a cipher technique that shifts each letter forward by one in the alphabet. So A would become B, B would become C, C would become D, and so on and so forth. And using a cipher, caret coins go burr becomes, and we can see that output here. Just a quick example here. So this can be further complicated by using ROT13, which then moves the characters forward by 13 spaces. In obfuscation in the real world, so far we've kept it simple. In the real world, you will encounter a wider range of techniques. One slightly more complicated technique would be utilizing XOR. Each character is represented as a byte, and each byte is combined with a key using the XOR mathematical operation. No need to go into the details on how it works. The only thing we need to know is that this operation changes the bytes into different bytes, which sometimes makes the resulting text end up with uncommon symbols and non-readable characters. So obfuscating with XOR is not something that can be easily done manually, but thankfully there are a lot of tools available that can help us with this. One such widely used tool is called CyberChef. So we're going to try to obfuscate the string using XOR by following the steps below. The first step is going to be open CyberChef visiting this link. So let's just click this, move this down the line. Second step is at the top right, we'll see the input box where we can paste the items that we want to change and obfuscate. So we can do something like this here. And then in the operations pane, we can use XOR and drag it to the middle of the recipe. So we'll type in XOR, drag, drop. And then this tells CyberChef to apply the technique to your input text. Each operation has settings that we can adjust. In our case, we're going to put the key of A, and the drop down next to the key is set to hex. So we're going to add A, leave this here, and we can see our output looks completely different. And let's go back. So the obfuscated result should automatically appear in the output. If it doesn't, we can click the bake button at the bottom, which would be right here. And now we can see above the string, caret supremacy now becomes this output here. Detecting patterns. The good thing about well-known obfuscation techniques is that it's easy to reverse it once you can figure out the technique used. You can use these quick visual clues to guess the obfuscation technique used. So ROT1, common words, look one letter off, spaces stay the same, easy enough to detect. ROT13 or ROT13, look for 3-letter words. Common ones like THE become GUR, and AND become NAQ. Spaces stay the same. Base 64, long strings commonly or containing mostly alphanumeric characters. In the example given, we get A through Z capital, A through Z lowercase, 0 through 9, characters with plus or / and often ending in equal or equal. XOR is a bit more tricky. Looks like random symbols, but stays the same length as the original. If a short secret was reused, you may notice a tiny repeat every few characters. So once you have a guess on what cipher was used, you can go back to CyberChef, but this time use an operation that does the reverse effect. For example, to deobfuscate base 64, you would use the from base 64 instead of the to base 64. Unfamiliar patterns, which actually is shown here. So from base 64, and we can see that here. So unfamiliar patterns, not sure what you're looking at. It's fine. Even if you don't have an idea of what the cipher was used, it is easy enough to keep on trying different operations just to see if the text becomes readable. CyberChef also includes an operation called magic that automatically guesses and tries common decoders for you. To use it, just add the magic operation and look at the results. It will display multiple results, and it's up to you to check which one ends up making sense, and you can even check intensive mode to make sure it tests more possibilities before giving up. So of course this won't catch everything, especially custom XOR keys or unusual layers, so use it as a hint to help you keep figuring things out. For example, one of the questions below cannot be fully solved with the magic operation alone. So layered obfuscation. To make obfuscation harder, threat actors would often combine multiple techniques, almost like a layered approach. For example, a script that threat actors want hidden can be compressed with gzip, XOR'd with an X key, and finally base 64 encoded will produce this obfuscated string. And we can see this here, so we'll just copy all that for now. And to reverse this kind of layered obfuscation, apply the operations in opposite order. So we would do base 64 decode, XOR with X, decompress the gzip, and then the screenshot below shows the chain of these operations to recover the original content. So we can see that here. So from base 64, run the XOR, and then G unzip. So I guess we don't have to do this since it's showing us the example here. But if we want to, we could paste, delete this, from base 64, grab that, nope, grab that, then XOR, grab that, X key, and G unzip, and grab that. Oh, well, let's delete all this up here. Turn that back on. There we go. Now we got our output. Okay, so luckily McSkitty, here we are, unwrapping the Easter egg. So luckily McSkitty detected something fishy in the email we received. She extracted a PowerShell script from the PDF and put it on the isolated VM to figure out what's going on. There is some obfuscation in the script. Can you help her understand what it is? We're going to open santastealer.ps1 located on the VM's desktop in Visual Studio by double-clicking it. This will take a moment to open. And then we're going to navigate to the Start Here section of the script, and we'll follow the instructions and the code's comments, and then save, then run the script from the PowerShell terminal. To get your first flag to open PowerShell, we're going to click Start. We can type PowerShell, press Enter, and then a PowerShell terminal will open where we will run the 2 commands shown in the script comments. Okay. So, come here, Santa Stealer. I think it's loading, but I'm not certain. Nope, here we go. Let's open this full screen. We have Start Here, Part 1, deobfuscation. To do, Step 1, deobfuscate the string present in the C2B64 variable and place the URL in the C2 variable, then run this script to get the flag. Okay, so let's grab this here. Let's delete this, delete all this good stuff, paste, do from base 64. And then we get https://c2northpole.thm/exfil. So let's paste that here. Do I need to get rid of those arrows? Let's just get rid of them for now. Save that. Minimize this. Open up PowerShell. And we can run dir. Take a look inside here. cd, desktop, dir again. Period, backslash, Santa. I thought it was / actually. I don't know. Maybe I'm used to Linux. PS1. Okay. Incorrect sessions or incorrect XOR API hex. Operator session started, recon, stealing Santa's presence list, preparing payload, contacting C2, exfiltration attempted, establishing foothold, downloading payload. There we go. Our first flag. Copy that. Nice. So what is the second flag you get after obfuscating the API key and running the script again? So we're going to come in here. We're going to minimize that. Open up our Visual Studio. And part 2 is going to be obfuscation. So to do, step 2, obfuscate the API key using XOR single byte key 0x37. So we're going to copy this, drop that in there, and convert the hexadecimal, and then convert to hexadecimal. Holy moly, can't speak. So we're also gonna say XOR with key. Then we'll convert to hex. Then add the hex string to the right here to this variable. So we'll take candy cane API key, Control C. Let's do this, delete that, XOR, and it was 0x37, Control C, convert to hex. Okay. So let's go here. Wait, do we leave single byte key? And then we'll do hex. Let's do no spaces. And then let's put that here. And let's save. Get this out the way. Open up PowerShell. Full screen. Pull up our history. Run that shell. Incorrect XOR obfuscated API hex. Aha. Got it. Nice. Cool. Nothing else we need, so let's go ahead and terminate this. Close this out. Just make sure we'll terminate that. Close out of CyberChef. And if you want to learn more about obfuscation, we can check out the Obfuscation Principles room. Awesome. Cool. That's going to be it for day 18.